As part of my People in Property series, I'm joined today by John Cooper, founder of New Home Quality Control. They deal with snagging issues, help you identify them and deal with them. John, good to meet you. Should we just kick off with what is a snagging issue? Can you define a snagging issue?
Yeah, of course. So a snagging issue is an issue that within a property, something that's been done isn't correct. It could be a small issue or it could be sort of a major issue. We'd start off with a poor quality issue. So something that's been done to a poor quality, that's a snagging issue. And also something that's been done to the building regulations and aren't being done correctly. So that could be a snagging issue as well.
Surely the building control would have signed it off or not signed it off. That'd be much more serious, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so look, I've heard that comment many times, and if that was the case, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. So, they do go in and sign things off.
Yeah.
However, it's not a check like we would do. So a building control check is they check certain aspects of the build, where when we go in, we will check the whole property for the quality issues, the standard and regulation breaches, things like that. So we would check the whole property inside and out.
I think it's a really great service and a great business. Why I was keen to talk to you, namely because it is the snagging issues. It's the final few days. It's the final week of the build that the consumer, the customer, the person who's buying the house, that those are the bits that affect their whole perception of whether it was a good thing to buy or not. They don't actually understand the complexities, the delicacies of the structural as the walls go up, but they really know and they care and they notice about, do the window latches work and does the loo flush properly and things like that. Yeah,
but that's where I think the system fails is, as a new home buyer, if you're not working within the industry, then you'll only see the visual things and the things you can touch. So your front door doesn't lock, your flush doesn't work. But when you become a professional within the industry, you tend to look at things more stringently, look deeper into things, know why things have happened. So when we do the reports, firstly we can say what's wrong with our own eyes. We then can add some details of what it should be and possibly why things have happened and how to rectify them as well.
What would you say the most common issues are?
That question, it gets me every time. So, I wouldn't say there's a most common issue. Right. There's so many and it's so repetitive across the industry and it's across the UK. It's not even areas. So not even areas, not developers, not even construction teams.
It's not specific builders that are terrible at doors or...
I never said that. I never said that. Let's put it this way. Certain developers are, let's say, worse than others. There are good developers out there.
Yeah.
However, they're good developers. They still have underlying issues that need to be rectified. And
you're making them better builders, aren't you?
Good. I'm trying to make that difference, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I think it's a great service. Just talk us through how you operate. Individuals call you up, do they? How do they find you?
Yeah, okay, so starting off, if you are buying a new home, then we have a huge social media presence. We're on the likes of YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, Facebook, all things like that. So that's one place where the majority of people in the UK would see us because we have a huge presence. Our other option is a website. So we have a website we can go on and all the details are on there. You can book straight through the website. You can book via the Instagram page. You can even give us a call. We have some landline numbers within the office that are manned by 3 or 4 people throughout the day. Once they've contacted us, we will then schedule a date in for them, whether it be a pre-completion inspection, which is now allowed to happen 2 weeks prior to completion due to the new home quality board. Okay. If the developer won't allow that, then we'll have to come after key release day. We will tend to try and get you the day after key release. If not, it'll be within a few days. So make sure that we get you within the first 7-day period. Once that date is scheduled, we then we will book you in, send you confirmation via email. We will give you a call a week prior to your inspection just to make sure there's been no delays. If that's all confirmed, our inspector then will give you a call the day before just to confirm his ETA with you. He will arrive on the day. He will spend around 3 to 4 hours at the inspection. When he arrives, he will talk to the customer in regards to what he's going to do. Some of the things he may find, some of the things he'll find that may not be able to go on the report and the reasons why. Once he's finished, he then sends the report to the office. The office then will pick up the report first thing in the morning, where a technical team will take over. The technical team then will read the report, add any technical details that need to be added, because the inspector will write things that he sees with his own eyes. in layman's terms for the customer to understand. Technical team then will add any technical details. Once they've finished, proofreader gets the report. What they do is just read through the report just to make sure everything that the inspector said coincides with the photograph, and make sure then that the regulations that the technical team have put in all coincide as a package. Okay. And obviously, make sure there's no picture of the toilet in your bedroom or in your kitchen. Make sure everything's in its right place. Once that's finished, the customer will receive an email from us then to say the report's now finalised. We will then send the report on to them, who then they send it on to the developer.
So that's a sort of a thoroughly in-depth report on the finish.
Yes.
That the individual homeowner can then use in discussions with the builder to get those snags.
Yeah, so once we've compiled that report, like I say, we'd send it to our customer. They will then forward it on to the developer for rectification then.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of getting professionals involved. If it's not something somebody's done before, buying a new build house, or indeed dealing with developers who can be quite tricky once they've sold the house.
Most definitely.
There is a tendency, you're not going to be top of the list. When you're about to buy the house, you're very much at the top of the list.
Yeah, I mean, look, back 6 years ago when I started this business, there was some sort of reluctancy to accept what we were saying and what we were trying to put forward. However, the industry's changed, and that was my idea back then, to try and make a change within the industry and make developers stand up and be counted for what these houses that they're handing over to people. Because I don't think it's fair. I've worked in the industry as a carpenter for many, many years, moved into project manager, and I see them issues. I was seeing them issues daily, weekly, and it was really getting to me. So I made that decision in life to make that change.
Yeah.
And I fully believe now that we're 6 years down the line. The new home quality board's now into play.
Yeah.
There's people now who are buying new homes are making this part of the process. Yeah. And developers are accepting that. So
that's good.
So the industry has changed in a way of professional snagging being part of the build, where back then it may never.
I suppose there's a difference for the developers, isn't there? When they get your report and it is backed up with photos and technical detail, rather than someone going, the loo doesn't work, sort it out.
Yeah.
It's at that point, it's professional to professional.
Yeah, I mean, we're independent, so we have nothing to hide. The old saying of, it is what it is. So what we're seeing is what it is. We're not going to lie about nothing. We have nothing to hide. No. We have no reason to hide. No. So if we find one issue, great. If we found 1,000 issues, so be it. That's what it is.
But on the whole, the developers take what you say and get back to work.
Oh, most definitely. Like I said, back the 6 years when we first started, it was difficult. However, we grit our teeth and we stuck by what we were doing and we believed in. And now we have many customers who are really happy with what's happened. Our reviews say the same thing. We've even had developers call us now to act on their behalf before the house goes to the customer. So yeah, it's definitely moved forward.
That's good. That's great. What would you say the difference is between a snag and a defect?
So a defect, it's in the word, isn't it? So that's something that's been fitted defective. So I would say, a toilet not flushing, that's been installed incorrectly. I wouldn't say that's a snag. In my eyes, a snag is poor quality. So as an example, something maybe damaged through no fault of the customer, but through the fault of maybe a tradesman who has damaged something on his way in or out the property and just left it, I think them items are snags. So poor quality issues are maybe snags, and defects are more serious, I'd say.
Do you ever get involved in refurbishments, or is it all new builds?
So if
someone's buying a house that's been...
Yeah, we have done refurbishments in the past. We've done quite a few as it goes. However, what I do find with them is that's normally your local builder that does a refurb. Yeah. It doesn't come with any warranty as such. There's no desire from that builder to make sure the property that they're doing is of a high standard. Yeah. It's sort of what we found in the past is, that's what it is. And the argument becomes long-winded. Okay. Yes. So we would advise that the customers that do ring up for a refurbishment, we can do it for you. It's going to be a long-winded process. However, we've helped loads of people with reports. Again, the saying is, it is what it is. What we see is what we see.
But when is the ideal time for you to get involved and do your report? Is it pre-completion?
So with a pre-completion, in an ideal world, that would be great, because you would think that the house is complete. You can go in, snag it. They have a couple of weeks then to put things right before the customer moves in. Yeah. That's not the case, unfortunately. Some developers do make it difficult for us. Although they've signed into the pre-completion process, some developers may say we have 1 hour to snag the building, which is, we need 3 to 4 hours. No one else has said this, only that particular developer. Some developers may not let us in the loft. They won't let us take the bath panel off. The site manager has to be with us. So he keeps us talking for that 1.5 hours. So that 1.5 hours then becomes 45 minutes, and he just says, right, that's it, time's up. So my eyes and my personal view on it would be a post-completion. As soon as you get the keys, within the first 7 days. First 7 days, a developer will always give you for any damages and things like that. So our reports are turned on within 24 hours to 48 hours anyway. So I would say my personal opinion is a post-completion. Because it's a more in-depth inspection. The pre-completion, we have to stick to a checklist that the new Home Quality Board has compiled. And the developer knows this. So.
Can you give us just a ballpark cost of, say, a 3-bed terrace house or something?
No. A 3-bedroom property, regardless of the size. And we can only do it on bedrooms, because otherwise there'd be a million prices out there. So a 3-bedroom property is $399, and then they go up by £50 then as the bedrooms go higher. When we get to sort of 6 bedrooms and some 5 bedrooms, there is a cost per room extra. So if your house has got, say, a swimming pool or a gym, a sauna, things like that, we'll talk to the customer on the day and maybe come up with a price for that as well.
I think it's a great service, I really do. Just for people watching who perhaps haven't engaged yourselves and are doing it themselves, what kind of things should they look out for? If they're buying a new build, what snags?
To help them along the way?
Yeah.
I mean, before you actually purchase the property, do some research. I would firstly look into the developer, which is an obvious one. Maybe look into the site and the location. And then if you can, speak to the site manager, because you'll get a good idea of how he's going to act within his site, and have a look at the site. Because a dirty, untidy site is never going to give you a good product at the end. No. Get in touch with professional snagging companies. And it's not being biased, but look for ones that have been established, who have the good reviews. I know, can't vouch for any others, but I know that we offer free advice over the phone anyway, whether you book a snagging inspection with us anyway.
So there are a few similar firms out there.
Yeah, there's a few similar firms.
I'm kind of surprised there aren't more. Or in fact, there hasn't been around forever.
Yeah, but there may be, but I don't see them, because whenever you click online and you go on social media, it's me that you see. Yeah, so I mean the other ones are left in the dark, really.
Actually, we should talk a bit about your YouTube channel, because I'm assuming on that you're trying to bring to life what you do and how you do it and why you do it.
Yeah, so we set up the social media side of things probably 2-3 years ago, somewhere around there. The idea was we did a downloadable snag sheet on our website to help people who are buying a new property, maybe can't afford our services. They can download a sheet that we've compiled ourselves, and you can walk around and tick the things off that you see yourself. There may be some things that you don't understand, but the majority of it you could do yourself. And when we did that, then that had a great response, and we had lots of people downloading and lots of thank yous and all the rest of it. So we wanted to do one step further, and we made some videos. We didn't know where to put the videos at first. And my team then, the person you see on social media, Orlando, he runs the social media side of things for me, and my business partner, Lee, then is the manager of the office. They said to me, put it on TikTok, and I was like, I didn't know what it was. I was like, I'll go and have a look. I had a look, I come back straight enough, that's not for us. TikTok is people dancing in front of the telly, being silly with animals and children, and I'm like, no. Anyway, they persuaded me to do it, and I let them run with it, and thank God I did, because within, I think it was 6 videos, Orlando did a video, and it went viral. 3.7 million views in 2.5 hours. And I was away from the office at the time, but the app was on the phone, and you can click on the app and off the app, and it was 100,000, 200,000. I was like, listen, there's something wrong with TikTok. My phone's broke. The app's broke or something. Anyway, it went viral, and the reason it went viral, we were the first ones in the country to find fake weep vents on a property. So they're the vents above all the windows and doors. And what he did, he put a ring shank nail in the weak vent and says, I put this nail in the weak vent, I can just pull it out and it's only small. And everybody commented, you're stupid, you're an idiot. It's a screw, because it had rings on it. Anyway, that created massive traction. And we took a lot of bookings the next day when we come into the office. And I was like, listen, that was a great idea by me. Now run with it. You know what I memean? I took all on board. It was my idea after that.
Good.
And we went from sort of the TikTok. We moved on to 500,000 followers within a few months.
It's great because it shows there is interest, there's demand out there, because people, they're not experienced in buying their new homes, and they don't have the expertise to go around and find things.
I think what we quickly realised, and we should have realised it maybe a little bit quicker, is the majority of people buying new builds these days are sort of young couples trying to get themselves on the property market.
Yeah.
And what do young people do when they have a break, and when they're on their phone and they're looking at TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. So what we found was we put our product straight in front of them people, that audience. And once we got to the TikTok, we went to Instagram and the YouTube channel. We've just hit over 100,000 subscribers now and won an award for getting so many. And I think the videos, they're raw. They're a lot different. There's other people there doing them, and for whatever reason, they're just not as good as us.
Well, I wish you all the luck in the world. I think it's a really important service for people. Buying a home is such a emotional, financial, it's a huge thing. And there is absolutely a danger that people move in and it's terribly exciting and they open the champagne and they have a housewarming party and it's brilliant. And then a little bit down the track they go, well, that's not right, that's quite not right. And then the builders slack to get back to them because they've already been in there a couple of weeks. Just the whole thing starts.
I think people's expectations before I started the company was that because it's brand new, it should be brand new. There should be no issues whatsoever other than maybe a door not shutting or something like that. But I think now, like I said previously, people are making it part of the process. We have hundreds and hundreds of phone calls a week and, up into the thousands of emails, and 350 bookings a month, and that just increases. And it's definitely making a change, and that's, I'm proud of that.
Good for you. And what happens when or if a developer drags their heels or doesn't want to get involved in what are legitimate snags?
So look, it's going to be a long-winded process, but we tell all our customers that from the very off. If that does happen, we ask them to give us a call, send us an email, and we'll get back to them. But what we'd say to them is start a process of emails with the developer, customer service director, whoever it is you have an email for. Start off for 28 days. Tell them exactly what you want from that 28 days and you want a response within then. If you don't get a response within that time, then send the same email for 14 days, then 3 days. And if you don't get a response from that, then you'll escalate it then to the warranty provider.
And do they tend to react?
Oh yeah, definitely.
They do.
I mean, that's the last thing they want. The last thing they want is to start a chain of emails going to the warranty provider who has signed off the property, and they want to keep their reputation intact, and it's the developer maybe that's tarnishing that.
And just talk a bit, if you could, about snagging warranty.
The general warranty with the developer is 2 years. And within that 2 years, the developer then will take care of any snagging items that may occur within that 2 year period. The longer things go on within that two year period, some things do become a homeowner maintenance.
Yeah.
So as an example, just take a fire door example as an example. Within the first 6 months, the developer will come out and they will adjust the fire doors to make sure that they comply. After 6 months, it then becomes an issue for the homeowner. Painting and shrinkage, things like that, over time become homeowners. After the 2 year period has gone, you then move into your 10-year structural warranty. Okay. So that's the likes of NHBC, Premier, LABC, that type of warranty. That will only be for structural items.
Okay. And is that all written down and documented in a package, so when the homeowner completes and moves in, that they know whether the fire doors fall into which warranty?
No, I'm not. I don't think they do. No. One thing I would like to mention about the 10-year structural warranty is when you look further into it. So when people have bought a new property, I'd like them to look further into that warranty, because my understanding of it is that you can't accumulate items for them to cover. So with one of the leading warranty providers, each item has to be a certain amount for it to fall within their warranty. So you can't have sort of a broken wall there, a broken window and a broken door to accumulate to that number.
Okay.
That has to be that number, that has to be that number, that has to be that number. So it's not what it's made out to be.
Okay.
Just look further into it is what I'd say.
And are there instances where people have a go at fixing it themselves because they don't want to?
Oh yeah.
And does that then negate the warranty?
Yes. So as soon as you start to do things yourself, the developer's answer will be, look, you've done X, Y, Z, and you may have caused that. So there is some things that the developers don't say, not to do at the beginning, paint the walls and things like that. Customers do it. But yeah, we've had a lot of people do some DIY.
Okay.
Yeah, and when we've highlighted on the report, they've sent an email back saying, "Oh, my husband did that. Can you remove it?" So there's things where we have to remove things before it gets to the developer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, John, thank you for coming in. Best of luck with it. I'm glad it's going well.
Yeah, it's going really well.
As you say, when people buy something brand new, they expect it to be brand new, and it's not.
Unfortunately, not. No.
No. Listen, thank you. Good
Thank
to
you
meet
very much. Thank you.